if you start looking at the trees and at the maps of the United States, mathematically that works out to a whole lot of Bigfoot.
The same timeline of FBI knowing about it, they went out and coordinated all this disinformation or everything to squash it, kind of like the Iron Curtain that was brought down when dude came out with the laptop. I mean, everything just went just straight down.
Right. Yeah, only the people at the top are really aware of the whole thing. You know, sometimes Hollywood will try to, tell us things through cinema. The main character's daughter, Murph, she gets in trouble at school for, bringing his old textbook to school where it's talking about the moon landing.
Yeah.
And this movie takes place in 2067, and the teacher's like, yeah, but it was fake, though.
Do you think that the reason we haven't had a live captivity is because they're interdimensional beings?
Nobody does anything for nothing. That's just no government, no agency. Nobody does anything for nothing. Straight from Satan.
Yeah.
Hasn't there been 4 attempts of assassination on the president, and they found all of them and who actually did it except for JFK?
Dice Man Enterprises exclusively presents a talk show that will get to the bottom of things once and for all. And now here's your host for Let's Get to the Bottom of That, 3 weirdos on a mic. That's right. Welcome back into another edition of Let's Get to the Bottom of That. I'm your host, Byron Dice. I am joined once again by Jason.
Ni hao.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Listen, today's show's going to be interesting, as you probably know by clicking on the actual title when you clicked on this episode. Everybody loves Joey. Today is the debut episode for the person that has taken the 3rd spot on the mic, which was filled by Mike. No pun intended.
Yeah.
And we have actually got somebody to replace Mike. Of course, you can't replace Mike, but
Irreplaceable.
We want to welcome to the show. Oh, I forgot to ask you before we started the show, and I've asked everybody on air too.
Yeah.
Do you want your last name?
Probably not.
Okay, let's not do it. So,
under the radar, that's the way to do it.
Byron.
Jason. I'm the only one because nobody cares.
Well, I do. I
Well,
worry about your safety every day.
Jason Rodriguez and Joey Joey Buttafuoco. Welcome to the show, Joey. I'm going to be pushing all kind of buttons today. Welcome into the show, Joey.
Thank you, man. It's Joseph, by the way.
It's Joseph.
That's my
Joseph
formal name.
Kincaid.
Yes, sir.
It's finally nice to meet you.
Joseph
We just picked him up
Buttafuoco.
off the street because we got desperate. Me and Jason was like, okay, we can't carry the show by ourselves, so we need somebody. You were walking around. You looked like you were cutting grass, but
I
we were
stumbled
like,
in here drunk.
hey, come on.
I mean, I'm just ready to talk about weird stuff, dude.
First of all, say there's a real hype in the room from me. Exactly. If you haven't noticed, the month of July, you probably didn't notice because we published things pretty much all July. You okay over there? Oh no, things are falling apart now. What's going on?
All right, month of July.
Okay, month of July, we published things, but if you weren't paying attention, some of the things were pre-recorded way back in June. So because we took the month off, I gave the staff off the month of July, so we haven't been in production. So
You should have rented it out. That's what you should have done.
We should have done that. But I'm going to be pretty hyped because I haven't been on the mic for over a month.
You're itching.
I'm just like production's back on.
Let's go.
Of course, nobody knows this, but I'm telling you this now because you probably are like, why the heck is Byron such on fire right now?
Post production. We're going to pump this out Friday.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. We're so close to publish date.
I love it.
This is so current
fresh.
events right now. Right.
Fresh.
This is Wednesday, the what?
Hot.
This is the 1st of August.
Man.
And this is coming out this Friday. So you're getting
Dude, this is sick.
really good stuff here.
Fresh news, man.
Now, Joey, everybody loves Joey. Reason I titled it that
Unless you ask my wife.
is I was going to title it Everybody Hates Joey, but I thought that was just really mean.
Yeah. This
And
is
harsh.
Yeah.
That would have been more accurate. Though.
Right. I thought so. But Everybody Loves Joey. I wanted everybody to really quickly, the listeners out there are, and I'm going to go over some listener comments in a minute, and one of them you're going to like because it talked about.
I wrote it.
It talked about, well, I'll go over the username. You can tell me if you did.
Yeah.
It talked about how we're struggling with keeping this show together because we're losing so many members. But it's only one guy, though. But anyway.
We went from 1 to 0, and it was him.
Right. And I think they put that on the behind the scenes with Byron. It's like he's the only one in the studio. He's lost everyone.
Oh, that's great.
What's happening here?
They're done.
Yeah.
It's game over.
So that being said, Joey, just real quick, we're going to go over what your mind frame is and introduce yourself to the audience and let them know what you're going to bring to the show and why your brain is kind of geared toward the official story is really kind of not the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you get here?
How did I
Yeah,
become the way that I am, man? That's a difficult question. You know, it's I know you said real quick, but I think it's really
No, we can go a couple hours.
It's it's spanned over my lifetime. From I'm saying a lot.
I'd say it. I like saying
You know, it started from my family. My grandmother, she has always been, I guess, spiritual would probably be the best way to say it. And she has been gifted, and in my adulthood, I've kind of come across it as like the gift of sight, and like prophecy and all that, Pentecostal type stuff you guys hear about, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
But
I'm Pentecostal.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. But that's how I grew up, man. And my grandma is, there's been numerous times just as a young kid where she's like prophesied over trips or things that like bad things were going to happen, or where these huge spiritual things happened that really opened my eyes to the unseen realm, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So it's as a young kid experiencing that and seeing that there's more than meets the eye. And then kind of from there, growing up, I've had a lot of experiences with just, things not going awry, and it's hard to compile everything. But it's basically, as a kid growing up, I would go home, when most kids were watching Nickelodeon, I was watching Ancient Aliens, dude. I was sitting there.
Aliens.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Ancient Aliens.
I had my hair stuck up on both sides.
Love that, dude.
Aliens.
Yeah.
And every day after school, I'd sit down, I'd eat some cereal, and I'd just hammer through.
What kind of cereal would you eat?
Oh, you got to throw the mixture in there, dude. You get a little Reese's Puff. A little,
Okay, yeah, that's a go-to.
You had a little fruit in there, some Fruit Loops.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You get a huge bowl and you eat the whole thing, and then you just skip dinner. And your mom loves it, dude. She's just like,
Oh, okay.
But that's what I do. I get home, like more specifically, as a kid, I was like, my dad was huge into sports, and my brother was like this sports fanatic. So I tried to go down that road, and then I remember at football practice one day.
You were playing football.
I was playing football too.
Oh, wow.
Trying to fit in, dude.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember there was one day we had football practice, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go. I'm hungry, dude. I literally skipped.
You said, I'm going to eat.
You said,
I'm gonna go home. And
I
have
need
some
some
cereal.
beef.
Yeah, I need some cereals, and I needed some Reese's Puffs, and that's what I did. I went home, and then I never went back. And then I just from there just watched documentaries on ancient aliens and like the paranormal shows and that sort of thing. And then it's kind of just stemmed from there. And then in adulthood, even to kind of get more on a personal note, I've got a couple kids, and we had a kid that. Throughout my wife's entire pregnancy, we were getting basically just jerked around from the hospitals and from the doctors and that sort of thing. And then we ended up, and I'm obviously talking about this very briefly, but one of my kids ended up passing away, one of my babies, because of a vaccine injury. right in front of my eyes. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew about.
No.
Yeah,
I don't
know
know. This is news.
Yeah, so
Breaking news.
it's not technically it wasn't a vaccine. So every newborn baby, they get a vitamin K shot,
I didn't know that.
which is like supposedly meant for like blood clotting, but there are side effects to it. So my babies were already relatively premature, but they were born healthy. And then whenever they gave one of my daughters the vitamin K shot, you literally saw it turn white in her arm and clot up and then travel into her heart and game over, dude.
What?
Yeah, right in front of my eyes, bro. And the doctors were like, "We don't know what happened. What else?" You know, I'm like, dude.
Lies.
While he's
Yeah.
holding the syringe in his hand.
Oh yeah. So that
It wasn't
was like,
me.
and that's not really where it started. That was just kind of the nail in the coffin,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
because it was like with my first kid, which like if any of you listeners out there are parents, like the vaccine schedule, they're like we're gonna get kicked off for this just because we said
Yeah,
But-
it's already happened.
it's game over, dude. Edit it out. But anyway,
Our COVID. We talked about the vaccine on the COVID episode.
Oh, did you?
It was slapped on YouTube.
well even
But we're I think we're safe on Spotify and Apple,
okay, cool.
things of that nature.
For now.
But
Yeah, and BitChute and Rumble, so people will hear our stories.
Rumble.
there we go. That's all I care about, dude. But anyway, as a parent, you go to the hospital and they're like they're extremely demanding as far as like the schedule and getting on it. They're like, you got to do this or we're gonna send you to protective services. Like
Yeah,
and
some
that
kind
was
of vaccine boot camp.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we're like, why? What can you tell us about it? And then it's like from there, my wife and I started looking deeply into it. And, we had a number of nurse friends and that sort of thing that were like, hey, what do you know about this? And we're like, I don't know. We're just taught how to administer them.
Yeah, or they'll just recite what the CDC says from the WHO that's funded by Bill Gates.
Yeah. So it was like,
Yeah.
that was kind of the, given my childhood, I was already questioning like government and that sort of thing. And then they're trying to jam something down my throat. We're like, this ain't right. And then we're, uncovering information about like, no one really knows what's in them. They had, total, what's the word I'm thinking of? Freedom. I guess they can't get sued. And I think you guys talked about that on one of your other ones.
They have that protection,
right.
where they're liable.
Right.
Is that Section 240?
Something like that. I don't know. I didn't look.
I think so. It's
didn't
where
go that
it's where you're
Area
not
51.
liable. They can put out stuff and they're not liable for the
you can't sue 'em.
for injury.
Can't be held responsible.
Yeah.
Can't be held responsible.
But then that happened with my daughter, and dude, it was life changing for sure, because it was the whole situation. That in general was like realistically we could have sued, and we probably should have sued, because they were born premature because of malpractice in the hospital as well.
What was this in a small town?
No, it was a big main hospital.
Ooh.
Let me back up here for a second. Let me see if I get this right, because I've met your children.
Yep.
You have two.
Yep, I have three technically. One of them passed away.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
So
that story about you.
My
So we're-
daughter was a twin, identical twin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
yeah.
one.
This,
She was
okay, so the audience is learning just like me. It's pretty
And-
cool.
Yeah, that whole story was crazy.
We don't even know Joey.
Who is Joe?
Jason.
Does
We just
everyone-
picked him up. That's why.
I'm just stumbling here drunk, dude. I'm slurring my words and everything.
Okay. All right. So, I didn't realize that. So, two children, you lost one of the twins to a vitamin K,
Yep.
which I've never heard of before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every
To be
every
honest with you.
newborn.
So, I don't think I don't remember that when my kids getting a vitamin K.
They probably
Is
didn't
this
do it.
new?
They didn't do it back in the 40s.
They I don't know. Bazinga!
That was a good one.
That was a zinger. Yeah, I don't know when they started that, but they really didn't. That was the other thing too, is like they didn't really ask. They just kind of did it. They're just like.
I
she
do
needs
remember kind of talking about what you're talking about. I do remember when my kids were born in the hospital, because you got those couple of days where you're in there, that pressure of the you need these vaccines right away.
Yeah.
So you can stay caught up.
Yeah,
And it
it's
was
crazy.
this pressure thing. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah,
and I was
dude.
like, no, I'm not doing that. What are you talking about? Schedule.
I know.
And then, so anyway, I hated that feeling.
I know, and it's
Well, go
there's-
ahead.
There's obviously a lot to it, I think could be an episode in itself, but Yeah, I mean, we before my daughter even passed, like I said, we were kind of big getting thrown around and stuff.
My mind's just blown right now that you saw that in front of your.
Yeah,
that you witnessed
dude.
that.
Tough.
And
I'm really shook up right now.
What's even more crazy is that, like, even people that are like, quote unquote, you're an anti-vaxxer or whatever, and I explained to them, like, dude, I saw it with my own eyes. They're like, nah, no, you didn't. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, they try to rationalize it and make every excuse of why it happened other than what you saw.
Yeah, it's like I literally saw it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no,
You didn't.
no,
I
that didn't
did.
happen. That didn't happen.
Well,
Yeah.
something obviously went wrong. It's not the vaccine.
I mean,
Yeah.
she was born, or
Something what
She was gonna
didn't
go.
mix
Yeah.
genetically
So
right. And
yeah, it's like, let's try to.
I'm surprised you didn't hit anybody.
Oh, dude, I mean, it was.
I would have.
If yeah, I mean, it was. There's a lot to it, dude. Like from the start, like the pregnancy, basically, whenever they told us I had twins, which identical twins, in case no one knows, is not, what's the word? It's not genetic. It's just random to have identical, which I didn't know that. And so that was a surprise. The whole pregnancy was a surprise. Love my daughter to death, but we were just having fun one night, and boom, she's pregnant.
Always starts by
Yeah,
having
that's what
fun.
happened.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
That's
it
what
was,
happens when bodies start slapping.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't have that's I like that.
bada bing, bada boom, baby. And so that was a surprise. And then they sat us down, and our doctor at the time, she went through like all of the possibilities, like negative, like outcomes.
Yeah.
Of like all the things that could go wrong. Dude, we were 100%, bro. Knocked it out of the park. Like the pregnancy from the start, they got this thing called TTTS, which is like it's twin-to-twin transfusion, which I'm a doctor, and my wife is way more literate on this subject because she was having to like defend herself the entire time. But essentially, my one of my kids was stealing the nutrients from the other kid.
I've heard this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I have heard of that.
And then,
That's crazy.
logically you'd be like, oh, one's just going to be really healthy. But no, that's not the way it works, because one's heart will enlarge and then it dies. Both of them pass away. One doesn't have any nutrients, one has too much, and then it's game over. So we went to our doctor, and they found this, and they're like, hey, we gotta do an emergency surgery. We have this really well-known guy that we're going to take you to. And, there's a bunch of little things, like my wife, it's called like I think it's called like an anterior placenta, and if anyone corrects me on this, my wife probably will when she listens to this, but it's like the placenta's not in the same area. So it's a very specific surgery. And this guy that we went to, we asked him about it. Like, oh yeah, have you ever done this surgery? He's like, oh yeah, all the time. Done it a million times.
Sure, with my eyes
And,
closed.
oh yeah, he's like, how high can you count?
Yeah.
So many times I've done it. And
It's outpatient.
yeah, pay me your money. Yeah, so we're like, okay, cool. Excuse me. And we went to, thank you, man. There's some water bottles here. Let me get a little drink.
Oh yeah.
Get a little-
Parched.
you've been out here in the sun all day this July or this August.
You're just
sun.
dehydrated from all the alcohol, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what it
true.
is.
That's true. Man, what a relief that drink of water was. What a relief.
It just dissipated.
It did. I'm back in it, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I'm suddenly sober. So
Here's some coffee.
yeah, he did the surgery, and the surgery itself was like, it took like, gosh, I don't know, like 6 hours or something like that,
Jeez.
which is crazy. I was like sitting in a waiting room, just like staring at a ceiling. I read through like what is that, Women's Magazine, like a million times. I'm just like, what am I doing here? But anyway, he comes back, and they wheel my wife into the room, and I immediately, I'm pretty intuitive, and I could tell that something was wrong with it. But he was like trying to show face, like, yeah, we feel like it was, it was a good surgery, and everything went well. And I remember leaving that and telling my wife, I was like, dude, something doesn't feel right about this. And yeah, turns out it wasn't. It was a completely botched surgery, and he basically reversed the twin-to-twin transfusion. So the twin that was getting it, which I don't remember which one was which at this point in time, but they reversed, and he did a technique called the Solomon technique, which is like, We found
Solomon?
Yeah.
Like from the Bible?
I think so. And
That
I
was
don't
going to
know
cut the
why.
baby in half?
Is that what he was going to do?
Well, there's a story of Solomon, the wisest man, he was king.
Yeah.
And there was a woman that had a baby, and this other woman took her baby and tried to pawn it off as her own. She abducted it, basically. And they went before the king and said, this is my baby. And she was like, no, it's mine. It's mine. And there was a dispute. And the king said, well, I'll solve this. I'll cut the baby in half and give a half to you and a half to you.
Jeez.
And here's the wisdom of Solomon. The
real
real one said, no, let her have it. And the other ones are like, oh, yeah, sure. Cut it in half.
Dang.
And so Solomon gave the baby to the real woman.
That is
Anyway, the
The
wisdom.
wisest man on the earth.
Yeah.
That is really
So-
it makes sense why they call it that, because that's what the technique is they literally the tool that they use, they'll basically cut right down the center of the placenta,
Oh, wow.
and they will try to sever or sear all the connections. Probably there's going to be a doctor who's like, this guy's an idiot.
Oh, we don't. he's dumb.
I'm calling social services
Yeah, this
right
guy
now.
didn't know a dang thing about
Yeah.
nothing.
These
but-
doctors
But he does
don't
know
even-
Solomon.
Yeah, so he knows the Bible a little bit, but yeah, so he did that, and it was completely botched. He missed 1 million of them, of course, because he's just trying to slice down the center of it,
Wow.
and they reversed, and then they were reversed, and then my wife basically started filling up with amniotic fluid,
Oh,
and her stomach was just massive, dude.
this is crazy.
Yeah, dude. And we were like, what's going on? So we went to back to the doctors, and they're like, yeah, it reversed. We need to do it's called like an amniotic reduction, and what that is basically they pull fluid out.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't remember why the reason they said they wanted to do it, but
There's too much.
my wife immediately, like, if you guys want like a conspiracy theorist, dude, Kayla she's nuts, dude. She's nuts. She's like, this ain't right. We're looking into this. And so she immediately got online and she found this group, and it was people that suffered from, their kids basically suffered from TTTS, which is what my daughters had. And they're like, dude, you gotta go to this guy. He's this doctor in Miami. His name was, should I name drop him?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Not yet.
Does anybody care?
I mean, just
I won't drop it.
yeah. I would.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway,
We'll call him up.
I
and
won't
ask
give
him.
too much information, but I can't really say this next part without people figuring it out. But
Well, then they'll figure it out. At least you
okay,
didn't drop it. Yet.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
But anyway, he was the inventor of this this technique for, like, he was basically the inventor of the surgery, right?
Oh, okay.
And super smart guy. Like, my goodness, he's so smart. But we whenever they said they wanted to do amniotic reduction, we got on this thing. We got this guy's number and we called his office, and it was like 7 o'clock at night at this point in time. And we called his office up, and he called us personally, and then like within 10 minutes, and was like, "Hey, do not. So you guys need to leave the hospital right now. That amniotic reduction is going to murder both of your kids."
Oh, Lord.
And we're like, "Whoa, really?" And he's like, "Yep, that's not going to do anything. They're both going to die."
Oh, wow.
We're like, "Holy cow, dude!" So here was where it got really weird. We like went to our doctor at the time, and we were like, "Hey, we're going to go get a second opinion on this." And we told him who we were using, and she was just like, "Oh, yeah, he actually invented it, so that's a good idea." And it's like, dude, why didn't you tell us?
Because they're
What?
You know why?
Yeah.
Because they're
Oh, my
trash.
gosh.
They always do that. They always like, oh, what didn't I think about that?
Yeah.
After the fact, why don't you just give us your best and 100% at first?
Yeah.
And then when you have exhausted everything, your knowledge, and then refer us to somebody that's smarter. But
Delayed-
they're so prideful.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm about.
Oh, dude,
Good.
no, I'm getting there.
Delayed
Trust
truth
me.
is still a lie.
Trust me
Yes.
on that.
They're
There's-
so prideful. They can't say, you know what? I don't know how to do this. Let somebody else do it.
Yeah. So
Ego.
yeah, so we got like a little GoFundMe account pulled together, and it was like, dude, it was a miracle, bro. It was literally the exact amount we needed to get down. If you have an emergency flight, it's like stupid expensive.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like, we
yeah.
got to get on a flight tonight.
It's,
Like,
yeah, forget about
it
it.
was like $2,000 per ticket, and we traveled for like we were up for like 26 hours straight and went down there and then met with the guy. He went through, redid the surgery again, and was just livid. Like, you could just tell. He's like, this guy
was trash.
Completely botched this surgery. Completely.
So he was trying to redo the Solomon thing.
No, he went through. So his technique is he goes to each one individually. So see, I don't remember how he does it, but he sends some. You can see the vessels crossing over, and he'll go to them individually and just sever them. Pop, pop, pop. And it's supposed to. And that's the other thing he told us. He's like, this surgery, if I was doing it, it should realistically take 30 minutes. It took 6 hours the first time.
The first time, wow.
It took him 4 hours to fix that first guy's screw up.
Okay.
Totally, he was upset, dude. He was really upset. But he successfully did it. And my kids were healthy at that point in time. But he was like, listen, we have poked into this placenta twice now. Do not let anything go in vaginally at all. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, if they need to check it, have them do an ultrasound on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nothing goes in.
Okay.
And so we got back to Kansas City. My wife was, my kids were healthy, but it was like, obviously she's had 2 surgeries down where they poked around in there. And the doctors at that particular hospital, I can't remember really what they were wanting to do. They were doing some sort of normal checkup. It sounds like my mic keeps going out. Is that you guys hearing that?
I heard it one time.
Okay.
I heard it one time.
Did you?
They did that like a particular checkup, and they typically do it vaginally. My wife's like, no, you have to do it on the outside. That's like this doctor's orders, basically. And they're like, no, you're wrong. You're like,
I'm about to lose it.
Oh,
We've done this a million times. You're
well,
wrong.
no, but this is the millionth and one time that you're not doing it.
Exactly. That's the thing. But if, like, with doctors, like you said earlier, their pride, they make you feel stupid. They're like, no. So my wife and I, they're like, no, this isn't fine. You're fine. So anyway, they went up, and lo and behold, my wife ruptured. And but there's more.
I'm losing it.
I don't know if I can do more.
I'm losing it.
There's more.
I didn't know it was.
She ruptured and like literally dumped all this fluid out, went back up to the emergency room and was like, hey, I ruptured. And they're like, no, you didn't. You didn't rupture. And they're like,
what?
Yeah, this is swear to the Lord Almighty, bro. These
people need to be fired.
They went because it was an emergency room. They said that they didn't have the ultrasound equipment there, and they said, no, you're just gonna have to wait over the weekend after my wife ruptured. And my wife again made her feel dumb, and then she waited over the weekend and then got in there Monday, and then the nurse, it was just like a typical nurse, on that Monday came in and she was like, hey, I think I ruptured. And she just walked down the hall and got a ultrasound equipment and just was like, oh, let's check you real quick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No.
Oh.
And yeah, immediately checked her and was like, yeah, you ruptured. And then it turns out that she was infected too. So they had to take the babies out. Emergency. Like I got off work I got to the hospital that day at 5:00 and 5:00 p.m. and my daughters were C-section. They were born at 5:07. I was like literally running in there, putting the gown on. They're like, we're taking them out now.
And how many weeks is this?
It's 20. I think it was 26 weeks. Wow. 27 weeks.
26. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tracking that. Joey was 27.
Yeah, but they were. I think it was 20. My wife would know, obviously, but it's 27, 26 weeks, somewhere around there.
I mean, at
very early premature.
Though they were premature.
26, 27. I mean, it's the same basically.
Yeah, so you can say, oh, they were premature. But of course, it's
because of the screw up, we're having to go ahead and do this.
Yeah, we're having to take them out now. We're having to take them out now.
You could have sued. You should have sued for malpractice. I wonder if you
getting
go back.
Angry.
I wonder if you. I'm sure.
We were pissed.
I'm getting so angry.
I'm sure there's documentation still. I'm sure you could go back.
Well, we thought about it, and I think we talked to my wife talked to a lawyer briefly, and he basically said that because they are so premature, that we wouldn't have a case essentially because, or she might have looked into it because they were already premature. You know, there was like, can't really claim malpractice because they were trying to, I don't know. Basically, we should have, but, you know, I've always been kind of weird about suing. I don't know why. I think it's just because that's the way I was raised.
Yeah.
And looking back, suing's not going to, you know, it's not going to bring my daughter back either.
No.
So that was kind of the, excuse me. Sorry. Let me drink some more water.
Gotta hydrate.
Yeah.
Hot out there.
But it doesn't stop there. I've got more.
Okay.
So, the hospital.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Before we go into that, so we're gonna take a quick break for August. Our sponsor is Spotify, so we're gonna hear from them really quick, and then on the other side, you're gonna continue with that story. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Byron Dice. I would like to take a moment to speak to anyone that has thought about creating a podcast, or you're currently a podcaster using another hosting account. Spotify's got a platform that lets you create your own podcast super easy, then distribute it everywhere that podcasts are heard. And you can even earn some money along the way. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and they will host your podcast completely free. Did I mention it was free? Also, the real-time analytics on how your episodes are performing are simply amazing. Spotify has built a platform where the creator is their top priority. So if you're thinking about creating a podcast, or you're currently podcasting and paying for your hosting account somewhere else, I highly recommend you give Spotify for Podcasters a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app, or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. All right, we're back. Bottom of that. Thanks for that ad read. Beautiful, sexy voice right there. Spotify is our sponsor for August. Before the break, Joey was giving us a breakdown of kind of where his brain is right now, in a very gut-wrenching story about how he has lost one of his children. You were just telling us that she ruptured because they did something that they weren't supposed to do, and now we got to take the babies out. Continue.
Yep. So the emergency C-section was crazy. I showed up, and I don't know if you guys ever experienced a C-section? Any of your kids?
No, all's vaginal.
Dude, it's crazy, bro. It's nuts. They mentioned C-section on our last child, JC. Yeah. And because they had the epidural was so strong, she couldn't feel her legs, so she didn't know how to push because she couldn't feel it. Right. And she said, slow the drip down. And then she kept pushing and nothing was happening. And then the doctor said something about C-section. She said, oh, hold on a second. And then it was and here we go. Bob's your uncle. And there you go. The kid's out. Yeah, but they had to yank him out that way. And, dude, it's nuts, bro. It's like, if you've ever witnessed it, they're like pulling guts out.
Yeah, it's like alien.
Oh, my God.
Oh, they're just straight up setting them out on the table. Just like, I was like, I was looking over the sheet.
I don't even want to.
Yeah, I was looking over the sheet, and they're like, Dad, you okay, man? I'm like, why? They're like, Dad's normally pass out at this point in time. I'm like, no, I'm into this weird stuff. It's cool. It's totally fine, man. But anyway, that happened. One of my kids passed away because of the that shot basically clotted up in her arm.
Okay, so let's because I'm tracking with a timeline here.
Okay.
C-section, babies in the NICU, right? Yep. Everything's so. Yep. Did we go for a distance of twins? Hey, we're getting them on life support, trying to get them to breathe on their own and all that good stuff. So was there a period of time where you actually could, it wasn't immediate, right?
No, here's the timeline. So they pulled babies out. My wife's like passed out on the bed because she's just drugged up.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what's going on. They're like, Dad, which by the way, in like when you're getting a C-section done, there's like picture a 20 by 20 foot room
Yeah.
with like 60 doctors in there,
Oh my gosh.
piled in this thing. It's like a
Excuse
school
me,
bus.
can I get by to kiss my wife?
Oh yeah, and everyone's yelling. Everyone's like screaming. It's like
Chaos.
it is the most hectic situation you'll ever be in, dude. They're like, we got to get stat on her now, and it's like you're just the dad sitting there like looking like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. You got your hands up, looking side to side, like what the hell's going on?
What am I doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like, Dad, what's names? And
What?
Yeah, they're like, tell us the names now of baby 1, baby 2, A, B. And I was like, so I actually swapped the names that they're supposed to be, which I didn't know. I was panicking, bro.
Well, sure.
Panicking.
That's a lot of pressure.
Then they throw them these little like glass, like, what do they call those? I don't remember.
Incubators.
Incubators. That's
yeah.
the winner. That's the winner.
I like that.
Then all these doctors like cart my babies out of the room, and I'm just like following them behind like the, I'm just like, I don't belong there. And then they roll them to this other room, and then they go to this room. They put them side by side by each other, and everyone's yelling. They're pulling all this, all their doctor information off and stuff like that. And and there was a nice nurse there that I was asking what was going on. She's telling me everything, but essentially she was like going by the step by step, told me what they were doing, while they were getting their stats, a lot of D, a lot of do, and then they injected them with the vitamin K, and then that's when we saw the clot.
Oh.
And then it immediately.
So how many hours have we?
This was maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Wow.
So she was, it was like,
What the heck,
boom.
man?
And then so how about?
Why would you even introduce that into a premature baby? That doesn't make any sense to me.
well,
at all.
it's for clotting. So they're,
Why are you going to clot?
I
don't know. Listen,
You're
dude,
not.
there's a lot of stuff that's like, why does my baby need this? And
Because they didn't do that back in the day.
Not in the
Right.
1600s.
right.
They just had babies.
They just had babies and they were healthy.
Yep.
Now, did they have complications and things died?
Absolutely.
I'm sure
But there was
there's
no blood clots and people shooting stuff in their.
I'm sure there's a logical reason, and most of the time,
I'm sure there's not.
There's
That's why
no
you're on
issues.
this podcast.
That's true. I can. I'm talking like the naysayers did. But no, I mean there's obviously a reason why they do it, and obviously with vaccines and stuff, some kids are completely healthy, but there's always that chance that they're not going to be. And my daughter was the unfortunate one where it reacted differently in her little bloodstream. And
Did they both get the K?
yeah. So one was fine, which she was fine from that. But after she passed away, then
Dude, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. It was crazy.
You, as a dad, watch. I can't. I'm choked up right now.
Yeah.
I would be screaming.
See,
Well,
I can't even imagine.
it is such a.
And you, knowing you, I've known you for what?
I don't know, a couple hours now.
I'm just saying from the small amount of time that I've met Joey, I didn't know this story.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine having to go through that.
Oh, dude, it's just like a 0 to 60 shock the entire time. You don't even. It took probably 6 months to even realize what happened.
yeah, I'm sure.
wow.
You know,
Shock.
that was kind of the.
It's like like getting
It's
kind
kind
of
of a
16
delayed
pile
reaction.
car up,
Yeah.
pile up. You know,
And you're still not sure what happened.
you're like, what?
Yeah, dude.
What's going on?
Well, they like which whenever you have a kid pass away in the hospital, they bring the body into the room with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Byron's looking away, but like
I'm not going to make it through this.
they bring it into you, and they're like, "Hey, hold on to it, dude," you know, and you basically just sit there and you hold your body, the kid, and you just hold it all night. And then it's kind of like, and this is kind of sad here, but the next day, it's like your kid it's a shell, you know. It's like you look at them and they're like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
It's nothing, you know. And that was probably the hardest part. And then like the worst part is one of the nurses rolled in because they're just so desensitized. They're like, "Are you ready for us to bring your kid down to the morgue?"
Oh my gosh.
We're like, "Oh,
I'm going to freaking lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know this?
I knew that you could.
I mean, about Joey.
No, I didn't. I knew. I didn't know
this is
in depth of the
crazy.
story. I
This
didn't
is
know the
crazy.
story to this in depth. I remember you told me one time, or
Yeah. Well, it's like
but
one
you
of
didn't
those-
tell me like this. You just said, we had a kid pass away.
It's like one of those stories where it's like, dude, you got 45 minutes, bro. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Tell me all the goods.
Absolutely.
And it's like, so you don't really tell it a lot,
Right.
Because it's still
Our
There's
audience
just-
is in love with Joey right now.
maybe
I'm
not.
just
I don't know.
no, they're in love with him.
Okay.
I'm just saying from the thousands of listeners that we have,
Yeah.
Joey's part of the family now.
Yep. I'm here.
You here? You made it.
But yeah, so basically that happened. They
Let me ask. I'm sorry because
ahead.
something I was asking. You said your wife was passed out from the drugs when they went to the NICU,
mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
then the K happened.
K happened.
She wasn't coherent.
So the K didn't immediately kill her. They injected her. It went white. They started doing baby CPR in front of me on my kid. That was terrifying. They're like basically red line, or it wasn't red line, but her heartbeat was going down.
Yeah.
They're like CPR now. So they're like,
And you're still the only one watching.
I'm watching it, dude. They're like
The only
pumping.
parent.
They got the two fingers pumping like bop, bop, bop. They're able to resuscitate her for a little bit. And then basically my wife finally gets rolled down and we go to the room. And then like an hour or so later, one of the doctors is like, hey, Scarlett, or, my baby, she's doing okay. But the other one, Layla, is probably not going to make it. So,
Okay, so that was her first
yeah.
knowledge of what had
Yeah,
happened.
they're like, we don't know. And again, the whole time they're just like, we don't know what happened. Like, she had a, reaction. They were just acting confused the whole time. So
Weird.
because
Joey
why-
saw what happened.
why would this shot do that? They don't even know.
Right.
They have no idea. They have no idea. It's just it's a reaction. So, I mean, you just never know what your body's going to do. And like I said,
That's why you shouldn't do it.
exactly, because it's not worth the risk, bro. It's not
Dude.
risk. It's
Yeah.
not
Why are
worth-
you pumping a drug into a premature baby? That makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, dude, for real. But yeah, so
I'm sure there's probably somebody out there going, "You guys are stupid." Anyway.
Well, that's the thing. They always are until something
It
like
happens
this
to them,
happens
yeah.
to them, and they're like, "Oh, dude."
So Kayla, are you with her when she gets the news?
we're in the room at this
Okay.
point in time. So they
And
roll
then
us.
you'll have to hold the baby all night.
Well,
okay.
we roll her down. We roll us back into the room, and then we have some time with her where she's basically being kept alive, and we get to hold her hand. I have pictures of that too. Those are photos that I'll never delete off my phone ever.
Wow.
And it was like the last moments with her, and then we said our goodbyes, and then went back to the room. And then like 30 minutes later, they're like, hey, we tried CPR again. We've been doing it for, I can't remember what the cutoff is. They're 5-10 minutes, something like that. They're like, she's done. She's gone. So then, they bring her to us. And then we get to hold her all night. She just kind of goes, cold, lifeless, which come to find out, because we had one of my friends lost a kid too in a similar way. That was kind of like our little bond.
Yeah.
They have these things called I think they're called cold cots that basically preserves the baby. So it's not like the next day he looks like a shell of a human being. It holds their life. It keeps them cold. They never brought that to us at ours. So it's like the next day, it was like I was holding this shriveled, I don't know, corpse. I
Oh,
guess.
wow.
Yeah. And then she came up, asked, take him to the morgue. And then that was probably the hardest part at that point. That's probably where we cried the most.
I
And
can't.
then,
I can't.
Yeah, can't imagine that.
I can't.
it was tough, man. And at that same point in time, my boss at the time, he was calling me, when the F you getting back to work?
What the
Yeah.
crap?
Yeah, dude.
Those type of people need to be dealt
What are we
with swiftly.
What are we talking about, Jason?
I mean, I'm
What are we
talking
talking-
kneecaps broken.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, at that
I'm
point, there should be
seriously-
a button pushed, and these guys with white suits come in. Hey,
I have homies
Come here,
that
we
will
got
come
something
and
to
do
show
this.
you.
We got a problem.
we got to.
Yeah, no,
and they take them in the
seriously.
back room. You just hear some faint screams.
Yeah, some
it's
cracking of some
Yeah.
bones.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's game over. Yeah, that was
You
it.
think I'm kidding? That's I
Joey
really believe
says we
this.
got a problem with you.
That's serious.
Well, dude,
I got something to show you outside.
yeah, we're gonna make you swim with the fishes. It's So that happened, and then then from there on out, my other daughter was in the NICU for 6 months, and that was a whole ordeal itself, because again, they're trying to push this agenda this whole time, and it's all money driven, right? So like they're like, this is it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter was having acid reflux, okay, but it was political, because of the hospital that we were at. They don't recognize acid reflux in premature babies. They just don't think it's a real thing. So
what?
Yeah, legitimately. So we would feed her, and then she would hold her breath because she was getting acid reflux, and then her stats would drop.
That's what happened. That was happened to Jude.
Yeah.
I mean, his stats didn't drop because he wasn't premature, but he had acid reflux as a baby.
Yeah.
And we had to give him medicine for it.
So we were at this hospital for 6 months dealing with this issue, and the whole time they're like, your daughter's having seizures. We need to do a spinal tap. Like she's like, they're all these just grandiose things. Like they wanted to. I can't even remember half of them. It's like every week they would come up with
some new thing.
Ridiculous thing.
We got to do.
We got to pull spinal
and
fluid
we got to cut
out.
a finger off, take it to the lab.
Yeah.
We're going to look at it. And we're going to sew it back on eventually.
Eventually she'll have
It's okay. It's okay. No
when
concerns.
she's an adult,
yeah.
we'll strap it back
There'll
on.
be no scars.
Totally invasive.
My gosh.
Yeah, we got to freeze one foot and warm up the other.
Yeah, we're just going to see how it reacts to the cold.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on at this hospital?
We got to add blankets, and at the same time, take blankets off.
We're going to put a probe on her head.
It'll be $40K.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're just going to look inside the brain a bit.
Yeah. But that's what it was like. That's what it was like. It was like just the most ridiculous things, because they're just poking and prodding, because it was like, in the bad thing about it was the whole time the nurse that we had was like, this is acid reflux, man. It's clear cut. But
there's always that one, isn't it?
There's always
that
one.
nurse that knows what's happening.
And she'll
she's
tell you in
she's
secret,
awake,
and she's
red-pilled.
Oh yeah, dude.
And she's like, look, I wish we could do something.
She's the
about this,
whistleblower. She's the whistleblower.
Yes,
I had one of those.
And
thank God for those.
Dude, I had one of those.
Yeah.
They're awake, and they somehow try to slip in. Hey, look, here's what we're gonna do.
Like, we're going to take your kid out back, and
Listen,
we're going to take him to a different hospital. And she's going to get what she needs.
Listen, under the cover of darkness.
Could you have taken your child out?
Surely, couldn't you?
Well, I mean, I'm sure we could, but that it kind of goes to the whole, they're just prideful thing. So it's like the whole time.
Yeah, then you're like dealing with, I got to take them out of the NICU. This is how they're living right now.
Yeah, and it's not like me and my wife were just like, okay,
Right.
It was like the whole time we were fighting.
Oh, such friction.
The whole time, like, dude, that is dumb. We're not doing a spinal tap on my
Delory had the same thing with Jovi.
Yeah,
they wanted to do stuff, and she was like, well, I don't. That's something's wrong with that.
Yeah,
what
it's
are
like
you
the whole
doing?
time is like we were having to trust our gut, dude. It was like, you trust your gut. It's like these doctors they're dumb.
Yeah, but you're right. You're in a bad situation because they are depending on that unit acting like I'm still in the womb.
Yeah.
And trying to develop.
Exactly.
And so you're kind of stuck with that.
And it was scary because whenever she would hold her breath from the acid reflux, her O2 stats would drop down to like 50 and she would turn blue.
Yeah.
So we're like, what? I mean, as a parent, I'm not a doctor, So
Right.
it's like I didn't know what was going on either. But we knew from basically our gut feeling that these doctors, there was something more than meets the eye. So anyway, we were there for 6 months. Or it might have been, I don't remember the exact date, fighting with these people the whole way. And then finally they were like, there was like this big meeting where my wife was like, this is not it. It's acid reflux. And they're like, well, we're just not going to treat you guys anymore. So they sent us to a different hospital.
Are you serious?
Deuces.
Yeah. They're like, we just can't help her. So we went to a different hospital. Which was the same hospital that the guy botched the surgery at.
Oh no!
And we're like, dude, where's a dang good hospital? But they recognize acid reflux. And,
okay.
And we were out of there in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Okay. Well, at least that guy didn't mess with anything.
Yeah, he was out. I don't know where he went.
You ever heard this thing, acid reflux? No, but I do know some surgeries on how to split some stuff down called Solomon.
You want me to cut her stomach in half?
Oh my
It'll fix the
gosh.
issue.
Man,
We'll sear it up.
You can't make this stuff
I
up.
mean, you
can't,
can't.
dude. You can't. So yeah,
There's so many.
We during that whole process, dude, we just trusted our gut the whole way. You know, we trusted in God. You know,
Yeah,
it was just,
absolutely. I would have to say this real quick from the small amount of window that I've known you. And this is how many years ago?
This is my daughter's 4 now. So.
4 years. Okay. Yeah. So the only thing I can attribute, because you look like you have some peace in your life, just for me dealing with you and your family.
Yeah.
And that only comes with trusting in Jesus and the Holy Spirit giving you a comfort that nobody else can give you.
Without all, beyond.
Can
all
you imagine if you didn't have that?
Oh, dude.
What kind of spiral would you be in?
Oh, man.
We would, I would be divorced.
Jeez.
I would be, in a hole somewhere, probably.
And then I'm sure there's people out there that are like that. So,
well, even past that point, man, like it was, we had to go to a lot of counseling because of it. Because it's like when you lose a kid, and there's so many circumstances where you're like, we should have told him no, or we should have been stronger.
Should did this, did that, did that.
Pointing of fingers, all that stuff.
What could have and what should have.
Yep. And and it's like the things that we did let them do, and everything went negative. And
like, whose fault is it? And
when you lose a kid, and especially it's like, and those things still bother me to this day.
My gosh,
it's like, what could we have done differently? But it's just, you just have to. It's like I said,
you got to trust in Jesus.
Yeah, like I said at her funeral, man, I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I know that my daughter's where she needs to be. She's in a place that we all want to end up.
And you'll see her again.
Yeah, and that dude,
you'll meet her again, and that's the hope.
That is
right. That's the ultimate hope.
Yes, that is why my life is worth living. Is for one for Jesus to say, well done, my good and faithful servant, and then the other one is to see my kid. And have her say the same thing.
Wow.
And be proud of me.
What a story, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was it is a huge pivotal part in my life where it really challenged me as a human being. It challenged our marriage, like everything, and it's but I say all that to say
all that to say this is why I'm on the show.
That's why I'm on the show.
That's why you're on the show, and everyone don't trust when people say something.
Yeah.
It's always ask questions. Always dive deeper. Always
get to the bottom of that.
Get to the bottom of that.
Get to the bottom of it, dude. And don't ever listen to someone speaking from just a position of authority.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm a doctor, so
you
need this.
I'm a doctor, and I obviously know more than
And for the people in Kansas City, research your hospitals.
Well, they're not. I don't want to shame the whole place, but it's just.
I will.
Well, I will tell you.
I'll shame it for you.
Okay, go for it, man.
They're terrible. That's a trash hospital. Make sure you don't go anywhere near the plaza.
I can't.
That's all.
Is that right?
Nice.
So there are death clinics around here.
Just
aware. I will say I don't know the hospital. I forget the name of it. It's the one on 75th. As we're going to church, it's got those huge windows. Is that Advent?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where Jovi was born. That was fantastic.
Yeah. That's where Jovi was born.
Yeah.
I mean, for the experience, I mean, all the nurses were just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, where my son
there was a
born?
couple, what's going on here? But
where my son was born, it was awesome. They had like chicken fried steak every day.
Oh.
Dude, I
didn't know they fed kids that.
No, me.
That's amazing. The father.
He said the hospital was great because they gave him chicken fried steak.
I was getting full. I was eating better than at home.
How was the treatment? I don't know how the treatment was, but the steak was delicious.
I mean, my kid's alive. That's the important part.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Outback, we got some fish.
Yeah, I was like a regular. I'd walk down there and they're like, "Oh, you getting the fried steak?"
Hey,
today.
Joey's back.
They're like,
"Hey, bring up the good stuff."
Yeah, exactly. Like, the regular. I was only there for 3 days. I think I ate like 6 chicken fried steaks. Dude.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome. It was killing it.
Wow.
It was killing it, dude. As much as I could get. But, yeah, that's my story, man. So that's why I don't really trust, especially nowadays. Like, it was already kind of rooted in that. I felt like there was always more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
And then that whole ordeal happened. And it's like, you got to prove to me now that there isn't more than meets the eye. It's probably the best way to say it. It's like, I don't trust anything at face value. That's why I'm like so protective over like the things that I see, that I let kind of, because I don't, everything is, in my eyes, there's some sort of agenda. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's something. Yeah,
There's
somebody's got
there's
something.
something in the background, you know, and it's
The official story is just not
right, and you don't
Yeah,
know
what are you talking about?
You don't know what angle it's coming from,
Right.
You know? So it's like you got.
That's good, and you want to get to the bottom of that.
You got to get to the
Okay.
bottom of it. You got to protect yourself too at the same point in time. It's like this whole thing with like the vaccines and stuff like that. It's like I met.
So that was 4 years, and when that thing came around, you were like, "Oh, here we go."
I was like,
Here we go.
I'll literally get my head chopped off before I get this
Putting
thing.
that in my body.
They're like, well, that's a surefire way to die, and it's like, I don't care. I'm not doing it, dude.
Well, I'd rather a virus kill me.
had
It's something man-made in a lab that you created in 9 months. Hey, warp speed. Hey, put this in you. Beak.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. So we were just the whole. There's a lot surrounding that, obviously, but yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. I can't wait for the next. I didn't expect Mike to leave. What were we, 10 months in?
Yeah.
Didn't expect Mike to leave.
Dirty Mike, man.
For when he did, I thought
So it would be
we were
forever.
doing this forever. Did you hear the song that I wrote for Mike?
Dude, it was amazing.
Okay, so
I literally played it.
I
to
hope
my
I
wife.
don't have to. I don't hope I have to write another song for both of you. So
Well, you should
I mean,
just, we
I,
should
at
just,
least we at least got another 6 months before
Well, let me
anybody
just
else
tell you
leaves
right
the
now,
show.
nothing lasts forever. Okay.
What?
I mean,
Oh no!
hey, the sun sets on us all, my
What
friend.
is this guy? What is he talking about?
I don't know.
I
It sounds
just
like
show
he's
up and
leaving
he's already-
yesterday.
I
Oh,
show
by
up
the
and
way, I
you're
didn't
gone.
even know we're meeting tonight. What?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
Get a drunk guy on here.
Let's go over real quick. Joey's on the show now, so you will love him. Any comments, please leave them on the Spotify app, mobile app. What you think of Joey's story, and welcome him to the show. Quickly, I want to transition. I want to read a lot of comments. We've got our first email ever
Ooh,
to our
boy.
truth at bottom of that got time. Well, that's a mouthful. And I know Jason loves this right here. So anytime we got comments, this is my intro to the comments right here. So we've got an email. It's truth@bottomofthat.com. And I'm not going to give the email address that emailed us, so you will not email them. But we got an email that said, oil is not fossil fuel, ? And we will never run out of it, ?
2 questions.
Okay, so I had an interesting conversation with someone who brought this to my attention and continued to try to convince me of it. Lots of weird things come up when you Google it. I don't know, but I thought I'd share. Love the show. So that's an email we got from a listener. Cool. So that may be a topic we can throw in the back catalog. Fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Is it real? And are they going to last forever? It's a good topic.
I don't know. Are dinosaurs real?
So
Well, of course they are. They're on
Are
the
they?
Ark, dude.
Are they?
Yeah, have you been to the Ark?
Have you seen one?
Yes.
Have you seen a dinosaur?
Observational
Have
science.
you seen a dinosaur?
Yes.
Really?
In my vision.
Alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a
They're
time
not
machine.
real. I'm going to tell you right now, they are not real.
Well, I thought you said they were real.
I changed my mind.
Oh, dude, since we went on break, you changed your
There's
mind?
a lot of things that changed.
He got
Oh
to
my
the bottom of
gosh.
that, dude.
Look,
Dinosaurs
you
aren't
may be
real.
a liberal now.
Dinosaurs aren't real.
He's
Neither
a
are
to-
birds. Changed my
Actually,
mind.
Well,
I'm
I knew-
actually
I knew
low-key
birds weren't
on
real.
board with that.
Which
statement.
ones? Dinosaurs?
Dinosaur, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually am. Weirdly enough, it's questionable.
I'm not on board with that.
It's okay.
I believe 100% they were here.
Okay.
And they were in the Ark.
Raptors?
Velociraptors, dude.
No. You guys
Not
are
those-
missing it. You
not
guys are
those
missing
The
it.
dinosaurs.
Brontosaurus.
You guys are missing it.
Yeah.
So not every dog that you know of right now was
Mm-hmm.
on the Ark. But guess what was on the Ark? A canine. 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not every. There wasn't a Shih Tzu. There wasn't a
Watch your mouth.
alpaca. There
Alpaca
wasn't.
what?
There wasn't a shepherd. There was. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't German Shepherd. Wasn't Doberman Pinschers.
Sure.
But there was 2 of every kind. So you didn't need a raptor. You didn't need a T-Rex. You just needed a kind. 2 of them. Boom. Y'all,
I don't know. That's
shut me down,
No.
boys.
I don't know,
Okay.
man.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about of
That's
every
what it
kind.
says in the Bible.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you
So
interpret that.
you're saying that they only got 2 of the specific kind of dinosaur,
2 kinds.
which was the alligators.
Yes.
And that
And
was
that's
it.
why they're here now.
But the alligators can swim, bro.
Right. That's why we have Leviathans. Okay.
Okay. Keep moving on. Moving on.
We got some new subscriptions I'd want to shout out because we haven't talked about this in a month.
But
We've been off.
Okay, wait.
Are you still on the dinosaurs?
No, wait, yes.
Okay.
Hold on. We will do a show about the dinosaurs.
Okay, good one. We'll put that in the back catalog.
Yep.
Okay. Since we have not talked since July, we got some new subscriptions on YouTube. We got Sergeant K. Welcome to the program, Sergeant K. Nerdy Vinyl has joined us. Jared Lambert, Brody Crocker, Saint, and Black Lung.
I like Black Lung.
So they're all new subscribers on YouTube. Welcome
Sounds
to
like
the
the metal blend.
exactly
Saint
and Black Lung. And also we got some comments on the YouTube channel since we've met. Soma Dr. 4JM commented on the Atlantis episode.
4Jam. Dr. 4Jam.
Oh, good one. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to read this stuff.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's, what do you call it? Hieroglyphics?
Probably. Chinese.
The Chinese. You guys are my new favorite weirdos. Instant follow. I feel like Byron has no idea what he's talking about half the time. Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
And I spend much of the show cringing at his mispronunciation of words. Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
So I'm glad I'm here for you.
That's a trademark.
I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm cringy. I find the show funny, endearing, educational, and lighthearted. I hope you guys blow up. You deserve it. A friend from Maine.
They want us to blow up.
Thank you, Dr. Jam.
They want us to blow
Oh
up.
no.
Thank you.
Got it.
Dr. Jam.
Thank you, Dr. Jam. I will keep on talking about things I have no idea, like the dinosaurs. And I will probably mispronounce more words than you've ever heard of, so I'll keep the cringe going. All right, here's a friend. I know this person. Here's a friend from Alabama, Izzy B 70217. But there's another way to say that? Izzy Box. Okay. She commented on behind the scenes episode. Hi, it's me. I'm the listener. It's me.
Oh, she's quoting what's her face? The singer.
Oh,
artist.
really?
The artist. What's her name?
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a quote.
What is her name?
I don't know.
Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Hi,
Okay.
it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. You know,
I didn't know that. Okay, so
that's what I'm thinking she's doing.
Well, here,
think you're
let
looking
me clear this up.
too deep.
During the episode, I said, "Hey, this is for that one listener out there that's watching."
okay,
right
maybe
now.
I just have Taylor Swift in my
This
line.
is for that one person. I know everybody's left. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares, and I think that's why she made that comment. Also, we have DY3SS.
I wonder who that is.
Commented on the Mike is saying goodbye video. I cried while listening to this.
Wow.
So sorry.
Did you comment that?
Wait.
No, that's my son.
Okay.
Oh, that was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So sorry you cried, but I'm glad it touched you in certain ways.
Is that his Xbox handle too?
I think so.
I think so.
You got the backwards 3, yeah.
It's funny.
Not the back. It's a 3, but it's backwards.
It was pretty emotional, dude. That was a good song that you wrote.
Yeah, thank you.
It really was.
It told a story.
It did, dude.
It really did. I mean, all the lyrics I wrote is exactly what happened
Yeah.
in church. That's exactly what happened one day. I overheard that,
Yeah.
and I said, "What?"
You should make a
And he
music
said-
video.
Really?
The Three
Re-
Weirdos
yeah.
music video, dude. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
like slow motion.
We can film it there.
So let you work on that. Also, that's it on the YouTube. We have our first comment on our Rumble channel.
Yes.
Rumble.
Tin Can Batman posted on the Origins of COVID episode. Recently found your show. Love your stuff.
All right, let's go to some negative feedback.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
try
let's
it.
get to
Gabe Williams commented on the Loch Ness Monster on the Spotify mobile app. Love the episode. What happened to Mike, if you're able to tell me? Now, I did, Gabe, I have replied to this comment on the Spotify, but Mike has told us that he did not want to podcast anymore.
Because he is shipped overseas for a CIA operation.
Right.
Yeah.
Black Ops.
Yeah.
Joey Garcia has been kind of blowing up the comments on the Hollow Earth. Joey was wanting us to talk about the siren sounds or the third eye. This is news to me.
Okay, his next sentence says maybe even talk about the lady on the plane that she wanted off the plane because the guy next to her was not human. I've seen this, and when we're done with this show, I will show you guys the clip. I just saw this 3 or 4 days ago.
Of the dude she's talking about?
Of the whole clip.
Okay.
And it is weird.
Really?
Yes. Some people say that she saw a demon or alien or lizard, something that was not human, non-human biologics.
Well, she said that thing is not real.
Yes. And
I thought it was a robot.
So it happened. So then, my friend sent it to me, and I'm gonna send it to you guys. But she sent it to me, and then she said, and then I have another one for you. It was during the same week. A gentleman said the same thing on a different plane, on a different airline, and got off the plane just like she did.
We got to talk about that. Okay.
Coincidence?
Joey Garcia, we will talk about that. I don't know what siren sounds. I'll have to look that up. Or the third eye. I'm thinking that's the third eye on Doctor Strange. Not sure. But but Joey Garcia also commented on behind the scenes, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Since it's hard to keep a full team, why not do a new episode every 2 weeks? As a new listener, I couldn't care less if there's a new weekly one.
I mean, I was saying the same thing, Joey, to be honest.
Yeah.
The third eye is that they're talking about that.
He went back to the third eye.
He's talking about that spiritual eye. That
I think so. That third eye that you can see.
Basically grows over it, that we can see into the spiritual realm.
Is that right?
I think that's what that is.
I'm going to let you research that. You
I'll
take lead on that.
I'll research it, dude.
Yeah, Joey's like, hey, because I did mention, I mentioned the reasons why I did behind the scenes with Byron, because I didn't have a show and nobody was here but me. And because I said that, he was making this comment like, hey, just do one every 2 weeks. I don't even care. But there's some people that do care.
Yeah.
No, but he was just saying he likes it so much that it doesn't need to be every week, that he'll wait 2 weeks.
Right.
Thanks, Joey.
He said every 2 weeks, it doesn't matter.
He's the real hero.
We could get Joey on the show.
I think so. Joey Garcia, he's been tearing it up.
Bring him in, dude.
Maybe this is Joey.
This is the Joey.
Is this Joey?
This is the one they love.
Is this you, Joey?
No, this is...
You changed your last name?
No.
Okay.
No, this is the one that everybody loves.
All right, help me pronunciate this last name here. Rower? Jackson?
Yeah.
Right here.
I don't know.
Rahwer.
I think that's...
No, say it again, like that.
Rahwer.
A little, like one more time.
Rahwer.
There you go.
Okay. Jackson Rahwer commented on the MK Ultra episode. I absolutely love this episode. It was so well done. This is something I've done a lot of research on myself. I appreciate the thoroughness on which you conducted this. I would love a shout out.
All right,
well, Jackson, your shout out is given here, boys.
Jackson.
Thank you for the comment. I'm glad that you appreciated our thoroughness, even though I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hey, Mike killed it.
And
on
I'm
that
cringing
one, too,
you.
though. That was a good one.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a good
Oh,
one.
and here's your negative one, Mr. Jason. Hannah Hildebrand. Now, this is our first comment on Apple Podcast on 7/19.
Yeah.
I can't remember which episode, but she said, wowza. The number of ignorant, inaccurate things these guys have said in the first 5 minutes is amazing.
I don't think that's...
I don't take that as negative.
I don't think that's
She's
accurate.
saying it like this. Wowza, the number of ignorant, inaccurate things you guys are saying is amazing.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Oh,
she's
you're
loving
saying
it.
those things are amazing.
I think she
Not
likes
that
it.
she's saying that's amazing. It's amazing how ignorant, inaccurate you guys
No,
are.
'cause she
She's
would've
saying
put- she would've
those
put-
things that you said that were inaccurate and ignorant are amazing.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
how I read it.
Okay.
We read it.
I'll
in
go with
light.
that. See,
Yeah.
It's constructive
I didn't even
criticism.
see that.
I did.
Thank you for that third eye.
I look at the glass half full.
Yeah, I mean, we're off the cuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's
Wow.
no rules.
Because if she meant it the other way, then, that's
Well,
kinda-
I
that's
thought
kinda
it was
mean.
the other way because we have said in the first 5 minutes
I don't
just
think so.
inaccurate and ignorant
Hannah
things.
seems like she's some one nice gal.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't doubt it. I mean, the explanation
Hildebrand,
point,
come
that
on.
says it all. That says it all.
That does what?
The explanation point says it all.
Yeah,
Dude. She's
yowza.
excited.
Yowza.
She's like, yes.
Yeah, who uses Yowza unless you really want to, like...
Like, tell me. Yeah.
Something
Here's what I
positive.
really think.
Yeah.
She wasn't like, you guys stink.
Yeah.
And then
No, I don't think so.
she was like, dude, you guys are awesome.
7/19.
Oh, you know what? I was gonna go over some headlines, but we've taken up enough.
I think this is our longest one yet.
Yeah, well, no, it's not a long. I think
Yeah, I
our
was
longest
just
has been an hour
blabbing on,
20.
dude.
No, that was good. I appreciated the story. I think it was well
Yeah.
done. I think it was needed.
It's out in the ether, man. You
I
know?
think
I've
I
told
think
my
it's
story.
just a perspective of where you are and how the official story just doesn't sit well with you, and I can see exactly why.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe we can go over some of these headlines in another episode, but there's dozens.
Yeah,
of,
we'll go next episode.
yeah. There's tons of headlines to go over, but we can do that in the future. By the way, if you have not visited our website, I highly suggest you do so because you can find all of our social media there. It's at bottomofthat.com. There's a blog there. You can check out the show notes and the resource material. and all of our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Oh, we're also on TikTok now. Surprise!
Sweet.
Jason didn't know that. He's probably going to be upset because I did that, but I did it anyway. I figured there was an audience out there that I haven't touched.
Yeah, the Chinese.
And I'm pretty sure they've touched me.
The Chinese audience.
Oh, yeah.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. Say that 3 times fast.
Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping.
This is a family-friendly show. I appreciate it if you're listening on YouTube, Rumble, and BitShow. Oh,
Shoot.
yeah.
BitChute.
I said that in a reel, too. I messed that up. So, BitChute. Very,
Yep.
very tricky, that word right there. Please share, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you're listening on any of the other podcasting platforms, please follow and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode when we publish. If you did not like this episode, I thank you for listening this long. And tune in next week when you might hear Jason say,
Dinosaurs aren't real. Changed my mind.
I will.